2, 1. Love Talk Radio.
Don't touch me. I'll beat your brains out.
You believe in miracles? Yes! I mean, you can take a knee and try a 56-yard field goal. This is not Detroit, man. This is the Super Bowl. Let's get ready to rumble. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat his children. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. But that's how it goes. California. The big game over Stafford.
I think that the NFL knows what Randy Moss has done with marijuana, and I think the NFL knows what Randy Moss does with marijuana.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game. Good morning, and thank you for joining me.
Ha! Top of the morning. Those of you already on Facebook Live, the millions, obviously, listening around the world, live from Hollywood, California. I am Alistair Conrath, and this is Tough Love, and you are going to get some tough love. Hopefully everybody's having a good Sunday. It's the 13th already, by the way. We're already halfway through January. Felt like New Year's Eve was last night. Literally, it felt like New Year's Eve was last night. I woke up this morning 100% thinking it was Monday. No lie. And it wasn't until I got up, went to the bathroom, and then all of a sudden, I thought, I wonder what happened in the Chargers-Patriots game. As though I got, jacked or something or messed up and missed it for some reason. You know what I'm saying? Wendy, good morning. Roth, what's up? And so all of a sudden, though, I thought, wait, I have a show to do this morning. It's Sunday. The game hasn't even happened yet. You know what? I had a couple cocktails last night, but it wasn't like I got hammered. I just woke up honestly thinking it was Monday. Also, I never go back and watch my shows, and so I don't remember last week. I don't remember last week if I said it's the 13th. Happy New Year to any of those. I don't remember even saying it on previous episodes. So either way, rock and roll. I'm not on crack, but thank you, Wendy. I don't know why people always think I'm, coked up for this show. It's 9 a.m. West Coast time. I don't do that at 9 a.m. But anyway, couple of, here's the thing. All of us, we get so jacked about the games. Like last weekend, I was super excited for all 4 games. And, some of them turned out to be just turds. And then yesterday, I truly thought the Colts were going to go into Kansas City and have a real shot at winning the game. I truly believe that, especially when I turned on the pregame and saw the sideways snow. I'm thinking, oh, this is 100% in the Colts' favor because of what they did last week in Houston. They ran the ball for 200-plus yards against Houston in Houston, and Houston's got a better D-line and arguably overall defense than the Chiefs do. So common sense, which apparently there is none in football these days, because common sense says Indianapolis, you've got a great offensive line. Marlon Mack went for $150 last week. Run the ball. Keep it out of Patrick Mahomes' hand. This isn't like me being a savant. This is just common sense shit. And Marlon Mack rushed the ball yesterday 9 times. The Colts didn't run the ball yesterday. And what's so sad and disappointing, and don't get me wrong, Chiefs fans, I don't give a shit that you won. It's fun watching you guys. Patrick Mahomes is incredible. his maturity is so far past his years. It's incredible. Truly, he sees the game as a real veteran, and it's fun to watch him. But as far as Indianapolis, you had the blueprint. Your offensive line, every time you ran the football yesterday, you got plus yards. Every time, except the first goddamn play. And how many times do I say every week, it feels like, for years upon years and years, if you are the away team, do not run the ball, especially up the middle on the first play of the game on the road. You are playing into the home team. They're waiting on a run. You're just getting a feel for the game, and you lose. The Colts lost 3 yards. They got 8 or 9 back on second down, and then Ebron dropped that pass, 3 and out, punt, Chiefs score, so on. But the thing is, you still got positive yards every time you ran the ball, and the Colts, for whatever reason, went away from it. And again, after last year's Vikings turd against the Eagles in the NFC Championship game, I came on here and I was just so, I was butthurt, no doubt, but at the same time, I was just shocked at how the Vikings defense, who had been playing so well all year, leading in numerous categories, could just drop lay an egg like that. And so basically, I mentioned the Vegas slant last year, and something like yesterday, though, as much as I never want to believe Vegas has their hands in it, I'm not that naive. Vegas always wins. And Vegas, there's spreads on games for reasons. There's money line, their game totals for reasons. Like, people study this shit, but at the same time, they still have their hands in the cookie jar. And if you don't believe that, you're an idiot. With that said, it's hard, and I don't want to believe it, but when you are Indianapolis and you go to Houston and rush for 200 plus yards and then go to Kansas City, where the only way you are going to win the game is by running the ball, and you don't do it, yeah, I'm sorry. There's something fishy about that, in my opinion. I don't want to believe it, but it's hard. It's hard to not just sit and think. Marlon Mack had 9 carries yesterday. Your offense, every time you ran the ball, got positive yards, but you never did it. Andrew Luck, you're a dome team. Oh, let's make Andrew Luck pass it when it's cold, wet, and snowy out instead of run the ball. You know what I'm saying? It just, all of it doesn't make sense. And I'm sorry, I'm just a guy who needs to make sense, and it bugs the shit out of me. Morning, sunshine, Ashley baby, little buns. Stuff like that, just, it makes you wonder. And I hate to wonder like that. I'm watching football as entertainment. It's fun, but at the same time, it's hard to be a student of the game, and I hate to say it like that, but I am. Born and raised on it. I understand it. And to see things, these are professional coaches. You can't all of a sudden just eat stupid soup in the morning and be like, oh, I'm not going to run the ball, and just end up, but kudos to Kansas City. It is what it is. And, but again, Patrick Mahomes is really good. It'll be interesting. Here's the thing, and I'll do the AFC and then I'll cruise to the NFC. And then if I have time at the end, I'll hit on all the coaching changes, because there are a lot of them, and it's so important. And I'll tell you why. But as far as the Chargers at New England goes today, it is 17 degrees in New England right now. All right. I'm in Los Angeles. I'm in Hollywood. I woke up this morning to walk the dog, and I don't know, it's like 50. Let's just call it 50, 53, something, right? It was cold. Like, I had a jacket on, It's 17 degrees in New England. And I don't give a shit what anybody says about, oh, you just got to, brush it off and not think about it for 3 hours, 4 hours. It's one thing for an offensive lineman, right? You're not, it's still cold, but you're hitting each other on every play. But as far as a quarterback, like Phillip Rivers, his hand, it's going to be cold. Really fucking cold. And his grip on the ball is going to be, it's going to be tough. And the receivers are going to be, their hands, it's going to be, climatization is true. It's real. In Minnesota, where I'm from, if it's minus, 5 degrees for a week, and all of a sudden it's 10 degrees, you're like, oh man, 10 degrees feels good compared to minus 10. And so all this talk of, you just brush it off, mentally, you try to do it, and it's not that simple. So, games under 30 degrees with Phillip Rivers is 1-4. Tom Brady, this will be his 40th game under 30 degrees, and he is 32-7. I'm not saying the Patriots automatically win a game like this. That's not what I'm getting at. But to discount the severity of the cold is ignorant. And therefore, I truly believe that is going to have a big effect. And you're going to see probably, and if they prove me wrong, I'll be the first to admit it. I think there's going to be drop passes. There might be a fumble or two by Los Angeles. And, it's expected. It's just expected. It's tough to just all of a sudden show up in 17-degree weather when it's 70 and sunny in Los Angeles every day. And you're like, oh, this is great. And then you get there and it's cold. I don't give a shit what anybody says. It's cold. Who dat, Dino? Who dat indeed? I'm telling you right now. I'll get to that game obviously in a second. Cowboys and Rams last night. I feel like I've been saying it more lately though, but I rarely, toot my horn. I honestly, I rarely say I told you so or any shit like that. But when it comes to Dak Prescott, I get happy telling you I told you so when it comes to Dak. I have zero against Dak Prescott. Dallas Cowboy fans, don't get all ass hurt, okay? But as a Vikings fan, I had to suffer through Tavares Jackson, Christian Ponder, having a great running back in Adrian Peterson, Hall of Fame running back in Adrian Peterson. And I had to suffer with shit quarterbacks. And, one season when I had Brett Favre with Adrian Peterson, went to the NFC Championship game, got hosed down in New Orleans back in 2009, but that's a different story. All I'm saying is, I've said it ever since Dak has come into the league. You shut down Ezekiel Elliott, and chances are you win the game. And I'm not slamming Dak Prescott. It's just Dak is what he is. And I've said it ever since he got drafted coming out of Mississippi State. The system he ran at Mississippi State was exactly what Tim Tebow ran at Florida. Identical. And so coming out, I'm like, what's the big fuss of Dak Prescott? I don't get it. Yeah, he had a couple good preseason games, and all of a sudden, Tony Romo becomes irrelevant. This is what I don't understand, and I don't know. Maybe I should just be a GM in the league. If anybody's watching who has ties to the league, I just know certain things. And Dak Prescott, I saw it from the get-go. He's average at best. And I'm not talking shit about him. It's just fact. He's nothing special. And if you shut down Ezekiel Elliott like the Rams did last night, well, that's, I'm sorry. That's just the way it goes. And, again, I don't have a vendetta against Dak Prescott. It's not that. It's just facts are facts, and reality is reality. Dak, 20 of 32 last night, a touchdown, 266, good, but at the same time, Ezekiel went for 20 carries, 47 yards. They shut down Ezekiel, and Dak could not take him over the edge and lift them past the inability to run the football. And so therefore, hey, it is what it is. I will say, Jerry Jones, be careful. Just be careful. And he's going to pay him. I guarantee you he's going to pay him. Just like Baltimore is going to fuck up and well, they might not have a chance because, Lamar Jackson's going to fail before he's due a contract. But this is a situation where you get rid of Tony Romo and have Dak Prescott, and now you're stuck possibly with Dak Prescott. The same exact situation the Vikings were in. Exact same situation the Vikings were in with Tavares Jackson and Adrian Peterson. You've got a Hall of Fame running back, because I think Ezekiel, as long as he obviously remains healthy, he'll be a Hall of Fame running back. He's so goddamn good. It's, he's really good. But Dak is basically Tavares Jackson, and that's it. Larry, I love you, babe. Top of the morning. And nobody wants to just admit it or just see it. And I'm not special. I'm not throwing out anything that nobody else can see. It's just, for whatever reason, all these owners and GMs I don't know what it is, if they get swayed by public opinion and these idiot draft people on TV being like, oh, Lamar Jackson's going to be really good. And it's like, who sees this shit? I don't get it. Lamar Jackson was good at Louisville. That's college. You know what I'm saying? Allison, mwah, what's up, babe? I just don't understand how people who are in a position to make these decisions, massive $1 million decisions, are doing stupid shit like this. I just don't see it. I don't get it. Whatever. So anyway, the Rams end up, they win last night. I don't know what got into CJ Anderson, but if you said CJ Anderson would have 23 carries and a $123, and Todd Gurley would only have 16 carries, albeit still a $115. CJ Anderson had more carries than Todd Gurley last night. Think about that. That's incredible. CJ Anderson, ever since he got picked up off the couch in week 15, it's just he's dominated. He's absolutely dominated. And it's funny. It's flipped. Thank you, babe. It's flipped because you have what Dallas was supposed to do last night. Run the football, not make Dak do anything but drive the car. That's exactly what the Rams did last night. They took Dallas's defense, ferocious as it is, against the pass, and made them absolutely inept by just running the ball down their throat. 48. There's two things happened last night. The Rams rushed for 273 yards. That was a record for their team. Dallas gave up 273 and also only ran for 50. Both of those were team records. Dallas had never run for less than 50. They'd never given up 273. The Rams had never rushed for over 273. So, it was just the score is only 8 points. And in the end, obviously Dallas still had a chance, but it didn't feel that close, ever. It was 20-7 at half, and it just never felt closer than that. And so now the Rams move on, and who do they play? And it's today's game. Eagles, Saints, and it's so crazy. This is the beauty of a football season, is that it goes by so fast, right? But it's 4 months, and what happens in September and October can, be 100% meaningless come January, end of December and January. And that is what is going on right now. Eagles and Saints played, and I can't remember exactly the week, I want to say it was week 4 or somewhere around there, the end of September, early October. The Saints beat the Eagles with Carson Wentz 48-7. Just an absolute ass whooping. And now it could not be any different. The feeling could not be any different. At that time, the Eagles were, I mean, they weren't written off, obviously, but they were not, to say they had a Super Bowl hangover would be kind. They just didn't look the part. Everything was off for them. And then you fast forward to now. Nick Foles, as ironic as it is, Carson comes in for Carson Wentz, plays in Los Angeles against the Rams, just like last year. And ever since then, it's just been full steam ahead. Nick Foles show. And Nick Foles is back to his old tricks. The defense is back to their old tricks, shutting people down, getting after the quarterback. Exactly how they got a Super Bowl ring last year. That is what they're doing again this year. The Eagles are back, and that is why, again, if I'm a betting man, I'd pick the Saints, and if a gun was to my head, I'd pick the Saints. Luckily, it's not, and there's a part of me that's just like, how do you go against what the Eagles are doing right now? How it feels. There's something to be said about momentum in sports. And the Eagles have it right now, that intangible that so many nerds don't want to talk about. They'd much rather look at their stats. And don't get me wrong, I'm a stats guy too. But if you've played the sport, or for that fact, any sport, and have had that momentum, you can't quantify it, is what I'm getting at. It's something that you can't put pen to paper and figure out the equation for confidence and momentum. And that is what the Eagles have right now. Now, the other side to that is you're in New Orleans where, unless you play a perfect game, you're probably not going to beat the Saints. And on top of it, you're playing against Drew Brees, who, in my opinion, is top 3 quarterback of all time. And so therefore, you do have, it's not as though you're going to Minnesota and playing the Vikings, who will definitely, shit the bed and lose. You're going to a team that is so good at home. It's almost a lock for them and for everybody to think they're 8 or 9 point favorites. Think of that. 8 or 9 point favorites. It makes you want to bet against the spread. But again, like I mentioned earlier in the show, Vegas, they know what they're doing. And so to everybody else, you're like, holy shit, what disrespect that is. And Saints probably are going to win by 8 or 9 points. It's Vegas wins. They always win. That's all it is. But at the same time, again, Eagles are on a roll. The only thing is their secondary still is, hurt. And I don't necessarily know exactly how many people are still hurt, how many people are going to play, so forth. I just don't know. But, if you're hurt in the secondary, going up against Drew Brees, that's tough, especially in New Orleans. I would not be surprised, being that is the case, and how well the Eagles are playing against the run lately, if the Saints throw it all over the yard. I would not be surprised if that happens. Obviously be balanced, but at the same time, throw it around the yard. Take your chances downfield. Michael Thomas, obviously, is Michael Thomas, but spread it around. The beauty of football, and again, I feel like a broken record because I mention things, a lot week to week, kind of the same shit, but the secret to football is, it's not even a secret. You want to maintain balance on offense so that you can keep the defense off balance, if that makes sense. Don't be so predictable. That is what happened to the Vikings this year, and that is why they failed epically. And so therefore, if you're the Eagles, Doug Peterson, keep New Orleans off balance on defense, and you'll have a chance to win this game. I mean, it is a real tangible feel to today's game. And so, if my life depended on it, I would say, yeah, the Saints. But being that it doesn't, there's a part of me that just thinks the Eagles are going to repeat what they did last year. And Dino, I know, Who Dat Nation, I know you guys don't want to hear that, but I will say, the Eagles are probably the last team you want to face, going and, playing at home today. Obviously, you probably would have much rather had the Vikings, or possibly even the Bears going. So we'll see. But I got about 4 minutes left. I'm just trying to think. I want to pull up. There's just been so many coaching changes, and I will say this. And again, I played sports my whole life. I see things in a certain way. And you can say most sports up through college, generally the players or the teams with the best players, most athletes generally win. Alabama, Clemson, the Ohio State, your teams that have the most talent who recruit the best players, generally they're going to win. I mean, that's just common sense. When it gets to the pros, all that, you go from 120 teams, I think, in Division I football, and obviously, Division II kids get drafted, so forth, to 32 teams. And everybody is equal. Again, Khalil Mack, you look at him and you're like, well, nobody's equal to him. Well, he plays like it too. He's insane. But coaching is absolutely paramount when it comes to professional sports because, again, all of a sudden the playing field is very equal because now every linebacker is 6'3", 255, runs a 4.5. It's just you have athletes everywhere. And so as a coach, it is on you. And again, it's never so important as the pros or in the pros to have good coaching. So therefore, there's so many coaching changes that have happened lately. I just want to touch on something, being that I only have a couple minutes left. Earlier I was talking about how Lamar Jackson, Dak Prescott, how GMs don't see certain things, and it just bugs the shit out of me, right? Well, it's the same thing when it comes to hiring coaches. GMs and owners think, well, obviously he worked for Bill Belichick in New England. He's got to be good. He's got to be a good coach if he worked. It's like the thinking that goes along with it. Don't get me wrong. I understand the process, the mental process that goes into that makes sense. But at the same time, it is very hard because you have to be a leader of men. And no other sport in the world, aside from possibly rugby,
90 seconds,
and a little hockey, has the amount of men. Like, it is the personalities that you have to maintain, control, be able to mold and work as a team. Just because Bill Belichick can do it doesn't mean Romeo Cornell can do it. Or this Brian Flores dude, that's possibly going to Miami. Sean McVay, the Rams coach. Everybody loves Sean McVay. So I guess everybody who works for Sean McVay is Sean McVay. And let's hire everybody under Sean McVay's coaching tree to positions. And that's why, the Packers hired this LaFleur dude from Tennessee. And because he worked for McVay. And he goes, why would he not work for Aaron Rodgers? Like, the thinking is so elementary. It's and without any type of deep thinking, to me, it's shocking. Somebody who's just sitting in Hollywood on their computer doing a show can actually figure this shit out. And you got GMs making millions of dollars, owners who are billionaires who can't figure this shit out. It's insane.
10
it's insane.
seconds.
10 seconds. I love you guys. Facebook. Instagram, all you guys, thanks for tuning in. Blog Talk Radio. Have a great Sunday fun day. Drive fast, take chances. Tough love is out. Bye.